my son is 8. We just learned that he has dyslexia. I homeschool him and struggle badly with keeping him focused.
Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any suggestions on that front?
Yeah. So real quick, one thing I forgot to mention was that a lot of kids that actually have dyslexia, before it was discovered that they had dyslexia, were misdiagnosed to be ADHD. And so real quick to encourage you, Paulina. Yeah. Okay. Real quick to encourage you is that, I think parents we as parents, myself included, just want so badly to know what is wrong. What have we done wrong? What can we do to fix it? And so I really try to, like, whenever Peggy asked me to write a blog or something, I try to really delve into some really deep research and figure out, okay, so medications aren't really necessary. They're not all bad in and of themselves. And so I would never, ever say anything like that. It's just that sometimes it's a misdiagnosis or perhaps even an overdiagnosis. And so, and the thing is with kids that I have worked with, that they have been medicated for ADHD. Well, ADHD is actually where you have a heavier left brain, and dyslexia is where you have the heavier right brain. And so whenever it was discovered that the child actually, and so when it was discovered that the child actually had more dyslexia, they were off of their medications and then did the simple brain exercises with Rocket Dog. Those are also over in the shop. Oh, by the way, Peggy, I don't think I told you this, but anybody listening and that wants that coupon, it's all capital letters, Cherish 21.
Okay.
And they just get 20% off of everything. So, and all the resources, the digital downloads, they're cheaper than the physical copy, and I think they're less than $20. So, I mean,
awesome.
It's but with the Cherish 21, it's an additional 20% off. But those, you get all those, like, these are the digital downloads of the brain exercises. And so to answer Deanna.
Yeah, Deanna, she had said that her son struggled bad, and then Paulina said that she agreed, and then Creative Minds Homeschooling popped on and said, "Focus, what is that?"
Oh, right.
So we have 3 viewers now that are agreeing that focus is an issue.
So here's what I would do, in all honesty, because I struggle with this too with our middle one, the severely dyslexic one. So I'm going to read you just one of the exercises that we have in here, and it really did help. Okay. So let me back up first. I'm getting ahead of myself because I have 5 million things to say. Before you do any of that, make sure they have their primitive reflexes integrated. So I've worked with, that's really big. I have nurses and physical therapists who I work with, and they're like, we never learned this in our program. We knew they were a thing, but we never knew that our kiddos were hanging on to them. And so if you don't know, which you probably do, so I'm sorry for repeating myself. If you don't know, those primitive reflexes are found in the base of the brainstem. And so in order for the higher level learning to occur, like in the word form area, those primitives actually need to be integrated, not gone away. We're not trying to get rid of them forever, because later in life we might have to rely on them again. But just trying to get them suppressed so that we can get those higher level learning functions to occur, if that makes sense. Okay. And so, again, we have the primitive reflexes.
And you have a blog on the SPED Homeschool website too about the primitive reflexes as well.
Yeah. Yes. And there's I have a YouTube channel. I think I shared it with Peggy.
Yes, that's in the YouTube description of this video as well.
Yeah. So do that first. But then after you do that, do the brain exercises. I'm going to share one with you, and this might help him focus. Also, another thing that I say about focusing, because I do this, it's a struggle. The struggle is real in the Spencer home every day, is we have to take breaks. We have to take brain breaks. We cannot just sit down for 3 hours and get all of our homeschool done. That's a dream. So if anybody has figured that out, let me know.
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that you could do are one of my kids' favorite things. I'll share 2 of them with you because these are so fun. So to help with the auditory and the verbal, auditory to gross motor, auditory to verbal, and auditory to fine motor. So for auditory to gross motor, this is one of the exercises, is to ask the child to sit with their back to you and have them lower their chin to the chest, and you're going to make noise with something plastic. I put a plastic bag. You can do whatever you can do with a plastic lid, anything where it's a distinct kind of a noise.
Yeah.
And then have them raise their chin up to the sky when they hear a different sound. Like maybe you make a noise with a paper bag, something that's, or maybe like a rattling can, something that's a completely different. I'm just reading those chats. Different distinct sound. Okay. And so that's going to help them focus. They're going to have to really think about this. What are they asking me to do? Oh yeah. They said, put my chin down when I hear that noise, up when I hear, oh yeah. So they have to think. Okay. So that's auditory to gross motor. Then for auditory to verbal, have the child say paper when you make the noise with a paper bag, and have the child say pepper when you make the noise with the plastic bag. So they have to think. They have to really think. It's auditory again. We're starting with that same sound. We're ending with that same sound. So they have to really process that. And that's another thing is I would tend to get frustrated. I would tend to be like, I can't believe you can't do this. Like in the beginning. But don't worry. Please don't stress. That's one thing I just want to encourage you. Please don't beat yourself up. Please don't beat yourself up and say, I'm doing all this wrong. None of this is working. Because if you're consistent, it really does work. Just try to make it consistent. Try to make it a part of your day. And please don't make yourself feel bad. If it's a bad day for the child and you're having a bad day, just hang tight. Again, another beautiful thing about homeschool, it's okay. Go play outside or something.
Right.
And then auditory to fine motor is you ask the child to like snap. If they can't snap, have them like click their tongue. Something that they can do or clap.
Right.
Okay. And then whichever that they can do to make a noise, or whenever you make the noise with the paper bag, and then to do something different whenever you make a noise with a plastic bag. So again, they're having to think about that, but they're getting their wiggles out a little bit.